What is up, football freaks and geeks? I'm Justin, Bridgewater's finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, and girls may stand me up for dates, but I will never stand you up when it comes to premium football picks. Welcome to Week 8 of my weekly NFL pick show for the 2013-2014 NFL season. Week 7 has come and gone. Nothing new here. Relatively successful week straight up. I'm still struggling here with the against the spread and the over-under picks. Hopefully we're going to start turning that around here in Week 8. Before we get to the Week 8 picks, let's take you through how I did in Week 7. We'll start there with the aforementioned top two against the spread and over-under. Again, struggled against the spread in Week 7. I was 0-2, missing both the picks. I told you to take KC minus 6.5 and St. Louis plus 6. Neither one of those worked out. KC only won their game by a single point. St. Louis was unable to keep pace with Carolina. So I was 0-2 in those picks. Over-under, I did a little bit better. I went 1-1. I missed the Giants in Minnesota. I told you to take over 46.5. That did not hit. That didn't work out. But I did tell you to take the over in the San Francisco-Tennessee game, and luckily that did work out for me. On the season, both against the spread and over-under, I am 6-8 on both of them. So I'm 12-16 right now. I am struggling against the spread and over-under, hoping to start turning that around here in Week 8. Taking a look at the platinum, gold, silver, and bronze picks from Week 7, another successful week. I did miss one here, but relatively successful on this as well. For the bronze pick, I told you to take San Diego over Jacksonville. Big shocker there. San Diego beats Jacksonville 24-6. The Chargers keep the Jags out of the end zone for another game here. What else can you say, really, about Jacksonville, except this. Jacksonville becomes the first NFL team since the 1984 Houston Oilers, 84, year of our Lord, year I was born. The first team since the 84 Oilers to lose their first 7 or more games by 10 or more points. Goddamn. The silver pick here is the one that I missed out on. I told you to take the New England Patriots over the Jets. The Jets pull that off on an overtime field goal after a very controversial call against the Patriots, but Jets win that game 30-27. Neither QB in this game topped 250 yards, which is strange considering one of the QBs was named Brady. And both of them throw an interception. Only one quarterback in this game, Geno Smith, threw a touchdown. Geno threw for one and ran for one as well, so a good game there from Geno Smith. And Chris Ivory finally tops 100 yards. This is a guy preseason. People were talking about, oh, this is a breakout star candidate in the NFL here, Chris Ivory. The first game, we were in Week 7. That's the first game that Chris Ivory topped 100 yards. So good on him for finally doing that, but it didn't happen until Week 7. Gold pick, I told you to take the Kansas City Chiefs over the Houston Texans. Houston made this game interesting, even though they lost Matt Schaub. Kansas City wins the game 17-16, so barely pulling it out there. Alex Smith in this game looked like he went back to the game manager quarterback that he's been accused of being in the past. We're talking under 250 yards, didn't throw a touchdown, threw an interception, but rushed for a touchdown. I have a concern there with Alex Smith. Like, is Alex Smith a viable, good starting quarterback in this league, or is he just a game manager? Time will tell on that one, I guess. And the platinum pick, I told you to take the Green Bay Packers over the Cleveland Browns. That one worked out. Green Bay put a whooping on the Browns, 31-13. Eddie Lacy for the Packers finally starting to look like an NFL caliber running back. In his last 3 games, he's touched the ball 68 times on the ground for 301 yards. He's only put up 1 touchdown in those 3 games, but at the very least, he's averaging 100 yards rushing on the ground in those 3 games. So he's finally starting to look like he belongs at this level. Same line, different day as well for the Packers receivers. 4 Packers receivers have at least 5 catches in this game. So, I mean, it doesn't seem to even almost matter who the receivers are when you got a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who threw 3 touchdown passes in this game, by the way. When you got a quarterback the caliber of Aaron Rodgers, he makes his receivers look great. He's one of those guys that does that. So 4 Green Bay receivers with at least 5 catches in this game. Green Bay rolls. So I got my platinum, my gold, and my bronze pick. Missed out on my silver in Week 7. Overall, in Week 7, straight up, I was a respectable 9-6 on the season. That gives me a mark of 64-43. So straight up, I'm very, very happy with where I'm sitting right now. It's ahead of the pace from last year, so I'm very happy with it, sitting in the 69th percentile on Yahoo. Moved to the private pick'em, we picked up another one, so we're now at 23 people in the private pick'em league. I sit still in third place, 590 out of 873 possible confidence points, a clip of 68%. In Week 7, I was only able to rake in 70 of 120 points. That's only a clip of 58% from Week 7. Shout out to our Week 7 winner. His first winning week of the season, Billy B's winning picks, was 10-5 on the week last week, so one better than I was there, but 91 of 120 possible confidence points for a clip of 76%. Too Easy still leads the pack here, 69-38, so 5 up, 5 down from where I am right now, 614 of 873 possible confidence points, a clip of 70%. So shout out to Billy Biles for winning Week 7 and for Too Easy still being the overall leader. Let's go back to the top two. My top two picks against the spread and over-under for Week 8. Again, let's start turning this ship around because we're starting to run out of time. My top against the spread play this week comes in the New Orleans versus Buffalo game. Now the line here is New Orleans minus 12.5, and that's the way that I'm going to go in this game. Why? Simple reason. New Orleans has won all 3 games at home this year that they have played. 2 of those 3 games they've won by at least 20 points. I look at Buffalo and I do not see an intimidating defense. Ergo, I think Drew Brees is going to have a field day through the air. I expect 400 plus yards. He's got the weapon on that team, Jimmy Graham, back. I just think it's too much on one side versus not enough on the other side. So long as New Orleans can protect Drew Brees, he should have a field day with Buffalo's secondary. So I think 12.5 points is quite easy for this team to cover. So my top ATS play this week, New Orleans minus 12.5. And my second favorite ATS play this week comes in the Denver versus Washington game. Right now this line sits at Denver minus 13. Now if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know, because I've mentioned this in a couple of videos, I really like to shy away from these lines that are double digits, especially like towards double-digit favorites. Now, my top ATS play this week, yes, was a favorite by double digits, of course, New Orleans minus 12.5. So I couldn't possibly be taking 2 favorites with favorited by double digits, could I? Well, no, you're right. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take Washington plus 13 in this game. Very simple reason is all season I've been saying Denver's secondary and Denver's defense is their Achilles heel here. Like it's going to be their defense, not their offense, that dictates how far they're going to go, because the offense is fine. The offense is fine. With Peyton Manning throwing the ball, you could put the popcorn vendors in there and it's going to be a great game. But the defense is going to be the crux of things. Like, can Denver's defense stop teams with good offenses? Because if they can't, they're going to get into these shootouts, and really it's a coin flip. Their offense is so good, but if Denver's offense can't put up 40 points a game, then it's going to be dangerous because their defense is giving up high 20s, low 30s on a consistent basis. Now, their defense has played a little bit better at home. I will give them that. But that being said, Washington is a good offensive team, an offensive team that's starting to trend up a little bit. RG3 getting healthier and healthier and healthier. So his ability to make plays, which we all know he can do, is really what's going to dictate how this game goes. I just think 13 points is too many. I think Denver wins this game relatively handily, but once they get to the point where, like, all right, we've put up 40-some points, we don't really need to score anymore, I can see Washington getting a garbage touchdown late. I just like Washington here as the underdog, so my second favorite ATS play this week is Washington plus 13. Also, if you hear the construction in the background, my bad. Apparently in Nova Scotia, the cool thing to do is to do construction after it's already dark. Let's take a look at my top 2 favorite over-under plays this week. We're going right back to Denver for Denver-Washington. The number there is 57. Do I really have to say anything about this? Heads up with the numbers they've put up all season. Denver at home versus Washington on the road. points scored and points against in their last 3. I don't think it makes a difference how you look at this game. This game's sailing over 57 points. Both of these offenses really have the ability to essentially cover this number by themselves. So 57 points, way too much. 2 suspect defenses take over 57 points in Denver versus Washington. And my second favorite over-under play this week comes in the St. Louis versus Seattle game. The number here, a quite manageable 42 points. St. Louis has lost Sam Bradford for the year. They're on to their backup quarterback here, and it's probably going to take him a week or two to hit the rhythms. Seattle, obviously their defense, very, very good. St. Louis doesn't really have much of a run game to speak of. Seattle's run game, very, very good, obviously, with beast mode. So really, if this is going to be a one-sided game and Seattle's on the road, Justin, how could you possibly take over 42 points? Fearless forecast. Seattle covers the 42 points in this game by themselves. Yes, I know it's a division game. I know these guys tend to play each other pretty tight, but St. Louis's defense in the last couple of weeks has been nothing special to me. So I honestly think Seattle covers this 42 points by themselves. Look for a score somewhere in the range of 45-10. Seattle, St. Louis go over 42 points. Now let's look at the platinum, gold, silver, and bronze picks for week 8 in the NFL. My bronze pick, where I am 5-2 on the season, I've got the Kansas City Chiefs playing at home to the Cleveland Browns. Very simple here once again. KC won last week. They didn't look the best, but they won. The ground game looking pretty good. Cleveland lost last week. I do the math here, and they lost to a team with a not great defense in Green Bay. Now they're going to Kansas City to play a team with a very good defense, a team that is undefeated. I think Kansas City continues their unbeaten streak to unbelievable, unfathomable to me, 8-0, but I honestly think it's going to happen here. So I got Kansas City to beat Cleveland at home for the bronze pick. Silver pick, we have the Minnesota Vikings playing at home to the Green Bay Packers. Division matchup here. Minnesota's at home. If we were looking at the spread in this game, I think the spread was relatively large, and I would be maybe tempted to take the underdog here in this one, but straight up, Green Bay's game, baby. Green Bay looked real good. Yeah, they've lost Jermichael Finley for a number of weeks, if not the season. And yes, they lost Randall Cobb. And so I know they're depleted here. I would need to see Minnesota really, really, really stop somebody, and somebody good, like somebody with the offense, the caliber of Green Bay, in order to think about taking Minnesota in this game straight up. So in Green Bay at Minnesota, I'm taking Green Bay on the road for my silver pick. My gold pick, where I am 6-1 on the season, game we've already talked about, Denver Broncos playing at home to the Washington Redskins. And yes, they are still the Washington Redskins and should remain the Washington Redskins. Now, yeah, Peyton Manning loves playing in that sea of orange, and Denver's been putting up insane numbers at home. They are undefeated. I think Washington keeps this close enough with the 13 points. As I said before, is too many, but Denver wins this game straight up. I don't see any way that Washington really wins this unless it gets into a completely disgusting shootout, which I don't know, maybe it might, but I don't see Denver losing this game at home. So Denver beats Washington at home. That's the gold pick. And we're heading to the platinum pick, which is another game that we already talked about here. New Orleans at Buffalo. This is going to be a double-digit win for the Saints. You can pretty much put this in the book. Jimmy Graham probably have a couple of touchdowns. They might even get a rushing touchdown, which is kind of foreign territory for the old Saints there. But Saints are too good. Their coaching is too good. Buffalo's kind of all over the place. But in any case, New Orleans wins here by double digits. Take New Orleans at home to beat Buffalo. That is the platinum pick. FYI, I'm 7-0 on the platinum pick this year. Go for it. Now let's take a look at the rest of my picks for Week 8 in the National Football League. Here they come. That's the Week 8 show for you folks. Comments, hate, and love in the comments section. You know where it is. Now, again, last week I gave you a bit of an update on my fantasy football teams. Not going to do that again this week. I'll save that for next week. It's almost halfway through the season, guys. And you know what that means? That means that the voting for the Pro Bowl is well underway by this point. I'm going to be coming at you with a Pro Bowl video. Again, I think I'll probably do that next week. I usually like to wait until about the halfway point in the season before I do that. But I want to hear from you. Who is on your current Pro Bowl roster from what you've seen so far this year? And don't give us Peyton Manning. Everybody knows Peyton Manning's making the friggin' Pro Bowl. Give us a name that we might not think of immediately when it comes to a certain position. Give us a name that you think's kind of flying under the radar, but somebody that you think deserves to make it into the Pro Bowl this year. That's it for me, Justin, Bridgewater's Finest on YouTube, Blockbuster_guy on Twitter, Week 8 NFL Pick Show 2013-2014. See you next week for week number 9.